you know why a lot of people are struggling in their IELTS exam? This is because they don't know which path to follow. They are confused. But now the question is, which is the right door to open? But don't worry, we are here to give you a right direction. Apart from giving you a right direction, we will help you in rectifying errors which are hindering your better performance. Now the question is, what you will get if you follow our guidelines? The answer is, you will be getting innumerable benefits. Here another question arises, which type of benefit you will get? The answer is, you will not only improve your speaking as well as you will drastically improve your writing. Finally, the wait is over. I am going to unlock what we are going to learn today. But before that, you have to subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon. So today's lecture is very much important in the sense because I am going to talk about the errors which people are making in their IELTS exam, and these errors are costing them a lot in terms of their band scores. First of all, I will talk about the conditionals. Why it's necessary to talk about conditionals? Basically, the main use of the conditional is in our part 2 of the speaking exam. Most of the time we are facing with a difficult or unusual question in the part 2 of the speaking exam, and by using the conditionals we can discuss this topic by explaining our usual experience. I will tell you how to discuss the topic which is unusual with the help of conditionals after explaining zero and first conditional. So let's start. What are the conditionals? Basically, conditionals are the sentences with the condition and its result. What it means? It means that there are two clauses in a sentence. The first clause is the condition and the second clause is the result, and the result is always dependent on the condition. Here we will discuss the example. If he works hard, he will pass his exams. In this sentence, the first clause, if he works hard, is the condition of passing the exam, and if a student is not meeting this condition, he will never pass his exams. There are different types of conditionals. For example, zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, third conditional, and mixed conditionals. Now we will talk about the zero conditional. We use zero conditionals to talk about things which are generally true, which are universal in nature, which we can't deny. For example, when the sun shines, it gets hot. Or we can use another sentence, when the sun goes down, it gets dark. When we heat the ice, it melts. So these are the sentences which are generally true in a sense, and the structure for describing these sentences will be, we can use if and when with these sentences, and after that we will use the present simple as in the above sentence. When the sun shines, the sun shines, it's a present simple tense we are using here. And after that we also using present simple in the second clause, it gets hot. Now we are moving towards the first conditional. So the first conditionals are the sentences which we use in real situation. For example, if he wins a lottery, he will buy a car. In this sentence, we are clearly explaining a real situation. So the structure for explaining these sentences will be if, and after that we will use the present simple tense. In the second clause we will use will plus infinitive. We can also use as long as instead of in case while using these sentences instead of if. So if we are adding as soon as, then the sentence will be I will reach as soon as I get a bus. If we use this sentence with if, it will be like that: if I get a bus, I will reach there. The second example we can use with the unless. I don't want to stay in a hotel unless I get an affordable room. So this is the example with unless. Now I am going to explain the use of first conditional in the part 2 of the speaking exam. For example, if you are facing with an unfamiliar topic in the part 2 of the speaking exam, in which you have to discuss a topic for 2 minutes in front of the examiner, then what you can do, if your topic is unfamiliar, you can use first conditional. The first conditional says that you will use present simple tense and will with infinitive. As the question is asking you about the game, an indoor game you enjoyed, so you can say I don't have any idea about the indoor game I enjoyed the most, but if I get a chance, I will discuss Scrabble, which I played last night with my family. So then you basically the topic is regarding indoor games and you are familiar with the Scrabble, then you can mold the topic as per your liking by describing your personal experience, and by using the first conditional, you are making it an opportunity for you to describe the topic. So you can discuss this very easily with the use of first conditional. You can explain your personal experience in that question, and you are familiar with the Scrabble, so you will discuss this game, why, what the game was, you played it with your family. Or you can also use referencing. In that case, you can say that I don't have any idea about indoor game, so that's why I never enjoyed playing indoor games, but one of my friend who is very fond of playing indoor games, he likes Ludo or something like that. So you can also discuss your friend by using the conditional. If I get the chance, I will discuss my friend who is very expert in playing Ludo, and then after that you can proceed with the experience, as you know all about your personal experience. Talking about personal experience, in the part 2 of the IELTS speaking, is very useful because in that way you don't have to memorize answers. You can easily discuss the topic at length. As we know that zero conditional and first conditional are talking about the real situations, and the second conditional and third conditional both are talking about unreal situations. So what we have learned in second conditional, that we are imagining a past and we are expecting a result with respect to that imagined past. So this will definitely not be a real situation, and we cannot use a second conditional in a real situation. Now we are moving towards the third conditional. So what we are doing in the third conditional, in that conditional we are going back into the past, and we are imagining a different past, and with respect to that past we are expecting a change in result. So if I quote an example here, it will be, if I had won a lottery, I would have bought a Mercedes. So what we are doing in this sentence, we are going back in the past, in the imagined past. If I had won a lottery, it means that actually he hadn't won any lottery, he is just assuming. So he's assuming that if I had won a lottery, I would have bought a Mercedes. So both are the sentences which are imagined, and with respect to that imagined phrase, if I had won a lottery, we are expecting a change in the result in the past, which actually doesn't exist. And what that change is, this change is, I would have bought a Mercedes. So this is the use of the third conditional. And what you can do with the structure of that conditional, you can use past perfect tense. If I had won, it's a past perfect. In the past perfect you always use had with the third form of the verb, I had won. After that, in the second clause, you will use would have with the third form also, which is bought in this sentence. I would have bought a Mercedes. So you can use this sentence like that. So be very careful while using these sentences, because if you are making a mistake and you are using a different tense, you are using a past perfect continuous, or you are using present tense here, then this third conditional will sentence will be completely wrong. So be very careful while using this. Now we are moving towards the mixed conditionals. What are the mixed conditionals? Basically there are two scenarios in the mixed conditionals. If there is something in the present which is the result of the change in the past, then you will use past present mixed conditional in the first case. As your present is affected by what you have done recently, if I hadn't got the job in Tokyo, this is example sentence which is explanation of what I have said before, I wouldn't be with my current partner. It means that if he hadn't got the job in Tokyo, so his current situation with the person who is his partner is not possible. So this is the structure which we will use with this kind of sentences. We'll use if, past perfect, would plus infinitive with these kind of sentences. Now in the second scenario, which is the present past, your current or present situation is affecting the past, so you will use present past mixed conditionals in this situation. For example, it's really important. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have called you on your holiday. It's really important. This is the present situation. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have called you on your holiday. It means that different situation in the present is causing a change in the past. So the structure for these sentences will be past simple, would have, and past participle. Now we are moving towards our second topic, which is regarding spelling mistakes. So a lot of people in IELTS are making mistakes in their writing part, and they are losing costly numbers. Also in the speaking part of the exam, if you are not pronouncing these words correctly, then this will also hit your speaking scores. So I have written incorrect spellings on the left and correct ones on the right, and we will only discuss the correct spellings. Word is maintenance. So the correct spelling of the maintenance will be maintenance, and the second one is occurred. So here we have to use double R, and in the third word we have to use double M instead of single M. Accommodation, millennium. In this sentence we are using double N instead of single N, which is the wrong one. Next word is fascinate. Next word is until. Next word is beginning. Entrepreneur. In the entrepreneur, the correct spellings will be ENTREPRENEUR. The amateur, the correct spellings will be TEUR instead of TUER. And the last word is, next word is hierarchy. Next word is liaison. Next word is medieval. The next word is miscellaneous. Next word is queue. Next is questionnaire, rhythm, vacuum. So these are the errors which we have to keep in our mind regarding spellings in order to score higher. Don't quit the video. We are coming up with another important topic, which is known as prepositions. Preposition is the topic which is the most difficult topic in English, and there are a lot of mistakes in writing with respect to prepositions. So I am giving you enough stuff for your IELTS exam, so that you don't need any other source to prepare for the prepositions. So let's start. First we are discussing adjectives with prepositions, most common adjectives, and the prepositions we are using with them. So we are using for good, bad, amazing, brilliant, terrible. With these adjectives we are using at. Is really good at maths. We are using adjectives of feeling with about. For example, stressed about, angry about, happy about. But sometimes you will use of with the feelings, afraid of, frightened of, etc. We can also use to show the connection between people or things. Married to, addicted to, allergic to, similar to. We can use to talk about someone's behaviors towards someone, friendly to, etc. We can use for with adjectives like famous, responsible, and with adjectives like interested, experienced, we use in. Now we are going to study verbs with preposition. We can also call it adverbials. Adverbial means the preposition which are giving a meaning to a verb, and if a verb is a part of a longer sentence, it is often followed by a specific preposition. So with verbs such as waiting, we can use for. With verbs like protect, recovered, we can use from. With verbs like in, with verbs like believe, we can use in. Specializes. With verb of, with verb approve, we use of. With verb died, we use of. With verb depend and based, we usually use on. With verb listening, refer, we use to. And with verb agree, provide, deal, we use with. Now coming up our last topic, preposition of time and place. We can also call it adverbials of time and place because they are giving meaning to the sentences. We can use on with days of week, for example on Monday. For month, seasons, time, year, and for a certain period of time we can use in. For night, weekends, and a certain part of time we can use at night, at weekend, at past time 9. For since, for a certain point of time we can use since, it will be past till now. And over a certain period of time we will use for as a preposition. A certain time in the past we will use ago, and earlier than a certain point of time we will use before, such as before 2004, before 2006. To tell the time we can use 10 to 6. 10 to 6 means that for making it 6 o'clock we just need 10 minutes. 10 past 6 for telling the time, it's after 6. From Monday to until we can use marking of the beginning and end of a period of time, we can use to, till, and until. Till Friday, from Monday to Thursday. And we can also use till or until in the sentences of how long something is going to last. He is on holiday until Friday. In a sense of at the latest, or up to a certain time, we can use by. I will be back by 5 o'clock. By 11 o'clock I have read 5 pages. I have read 5 pages. Now, preposition of place. At. For example, if an object is next to, if something is next to by an object, we can say at the door, at the station. And for tables, for events, places where you are to do something typical, such as when you are watching a film, study work, you can use at a cinema, at school. For events, you can say at a party. And places where you are to do, and we can use on with the attachments, the picture on the wall. And for a place with a river, being on surface. For a certain side, for a floor in the house, for public transport, for television, radio. For all these we can use on the left, on the table, on the right, first floor, left or right of somebody or something, you can use by, next to, beside. Under, you can use on the ground, lower than, or covered by something else. The bag is under the table. If a thing is on the ground, lower than or something else, you can use under. Lower than something else but above the ground, you can use below. The fish are below the surface. You can use over. For things which are covered by something else, meaning more than, getting to the other side, overcoming an obstacle. Put a jacket over your shirt. Here is an example: over 16 years of age, meaning more than 16 years of age. Getting to the other side, walk over the bridge. You can use over for getting to the other side. Here is an example: overcoming an obstacle, climb over the wall. You are overcoming a wall, which is an obstacle. So in the last, you can use above, higher than something else but not directly over it, a path above the lake. So these are the prepositions which are the most commonly used, and by making errors in these kind of prepositions, you will definitely lose your marks in your writing. So what you have to do, you have to take care of all these things. And you can email me if you want to get a copy of this for your reading. So this was all about which I have discussed today, and this will surely help you to get band 7 or above in your IELTS speaking and writing exams. Bye for now, and I am coming up with a very exciting lecture in the coming week, and I am also planning to go live on YouTube with this part 1 of the speaking exam. Have a nice day. Thank you, and keep watching my channel, and if you like it, then please subscribe it also. Thank you very much.